Day women just don't qualify for the top tier men, and that is the truth.
So you believe you're a top tier man? By what standard?
I'm 6'4", only about what? 8% of the entire world is 6'4". I make well over 100K a year. And I'm black at that if you add that on. So just if we're speaking about those figures, the things that women are attracted to, no, I'm not gonna toot my own horn, but I'll let you do the math.
The conversation and the words that are coming out of the mouth of someone like you, I would never consider top tier. A man who displays a certain level of intellect that allows him to consider other people. A top tier man, they lead with love, not with dictatorship.
Okay. Notice it says absolutely nothing about love, right? Where is she getting this from?
They don't want to control their woman. They want to gently lead their woman.
A man who can't control his woman doesn't have a woman. She belongs to whoever can control her, right? If he can't control her, how can he save her from herself when the time calls for it, right? This is where she injects feminist talking points that will hopefully influence beneficial outcomes for women.
A top tier man creates space for a woman to feel good about herself.
This is where the conversation, as usual, becomes all about women.
A top tier man supports the dreams and the ideas of a woman. A top tier man prioritizes a woman.
A top tier man does not prioritize a woman. A top tier man prioritizes the orders that he receives from God Almighty. Next, he prioritizes his purpose. You see how she's setting the stage to influence men who may be listening to start treating women how she wants women to get treated, even though it has absolutely nothing to do with the definition of top tier. This is how selfish they are. Everything is about them. Everything.
Man is in leadership and working as hard as he is to give the woman the life of her dream.
Give the woman the life of her dreams? There we go, people. We were supposed to be talking about the definition of top tier men, but she found a way to make everything about women and giving women everything that they want. The nature of a woman is so diabolical. I wouldn't want to be this selfish if I could get away with it. They make absolutely everything about them, yet you never hear them discussing what they can do for anybody else. Ain't that something?
One of the weirdest and most humbling experiences as a man is realizing that women actually don't give a about you at all. Now, are there women out there who genuinely get into relationships because they genuinely fall in love with you and what you, I was even about to say what you can provide, because that's all they give a about. There are literally like 0.01% of women out there who actually get into a relationship with you for you, who you are as a person. It's all about what being with you says to them about themselves and their value. And that's why so many women fall out of love with their man inside of the relationships or get divorced from their man when they're in marriages. It's because when you get soft, when you get comfortable as a man and you start to open yourself up, you start to let your guard down, you're not being as mysterious, you're telling her everything about yourself. She starts to lose interest in you because now to her, she's seeing you at your worst and not just at your best. And she's like, I can't do it. I don't like what he is now. Right now, I was just at the mall and I saw a dude who was with a woman who was pretty fat. And I saw multiple situations like this, dudes who were with fat women. And in my mind, I'm not judging at all. I'm like, bruh, do what you want to do. But it was interesting to me where I'm like, that man actually loves that woman. Like, even though we all see that she's fat, in his mind, he looks at the person that she used to be and is like, bruh, there's some kind of part of that that's still inside of her. There are so many men out there who are in relationships and marriages with women who were previously skinny and gotten fat because they always gave a about the woman and not who she was on the outside. But let a man go broke, let a man get fat, let a man get comfortable, let a man get soft, she's leaving. It's because she never gave a about who you were as a person. It's who you were portraying yourself to be. It's who you were on the outside. And once you can understand that a relationship is all about a woman's ego, you start to know how to play it, so then you always keep her around.
Part of the curse on women is we desire to be desired. But now it's out of order because now we have women that they got a man, but they're worried about why other men don't think about them or what other men think about them, or they're posting like they're still trying to attract or advertise for other men and arguing with a man about what they're posting. Why can't I post this? I don't understand this. Why not? You are watching these other women that are girlfriends at best. They may not be nobody's wife, not for long. How they're conducting themselves, and you're saying that's what I want. No, you don't want that. That's out of order. That's why it don't work. When we're so worried about what other people, this random man in Alaska, whether he likes your video or not, or whether some dude at the gas station thinks you're attractive or not. Now we're making our man feel like he not enough because we haven't dealt with our own insecurities. We're so busy trying to look attractive to the overarching whole. And that's because we don't feel good enough within ourselves. We're too dependent on other people to make us feel good about ourselves. And that's an insecurity issue. And that's another big problem with today's generation. We're incredibly insecure. And because we're incredibly insecure, we're doing all these things to get attention, not intention. And now men are looking at us like, man, they're thirsty. You out here posting yourself twerking with a bikini on to try to get attention from a man to get a like or a follow. That doesn't look like wife behavior. Then we mad at a man because he's sexualizing or objectifying us when you put yourself in that position by what you're posting. You out here posting or showing yourself in different locations, you traveling more than the Harlem Globetrotters, and people trying to understand, what do you do that you're traveling this much? We know you ain't working that type of job that you traveling so much, but you're just allowing yourself to be, I want to be flown out here. I'm seeing this lifestyle. This lifestyle is not attractive to men who are looking for a wife. That lifestyle is attractive to a man who wants you for a night at best or a weekend at best. Let's go to St. Bart's for the weekend and then come back and I don't want to hear from you again. That's not the type. When you have to understand, when you're playing a wife game, you're playing the long game. What does that mean? It'll feel like you're losing before you're winning.
He was lifting. Nothing.
Okay, so if you can't tell in the video, this is Barbie Bex. This is the woman that decided to record him. Oh, she's in Vegas, just like me. As you can see from her face, we can tell that she does more jaw jacking and making fun of people than working out at the gym. I find it so crazy that women go out of their way to say that men are evil, malicious, and all they do is pick at our bodies. But on the same breath, you guys do the same thing. So make it make sense. You think that you're a good person going out of your way to record a man enjoying his time with his friend recording? What's wrong with that? What if he's teaching somebody how to do that workout? I see nothing wrong with that. The fact that you're laughing and giggling, saying that he's literally lifting nothing, tells me you don't know about working out. Do you even understand the movement that he's doing, that he's working out? You're not supposed to put an excessive amount of weight on there. You know that, right? But of course you wouldn't, because instead of jaw jacking, you're sitting over there talking, making fun of him with your homegirl when you should be on the treadmill working out. Hence why you look like your picture. Hence why you're making fun of somebody else. I never see pretty girls and good-looking women and fit women making fun of men. Do you ever notice how it's the gargoyles, the hyenas, the big tanks and grenades? I'm shocked you didn't eat the camera. But hey, no one's going to make fun of you, but I sure will. I love fighting fire with fire, and people are like, oh, this is not going to, I don't care. Being nice to people who are mean doesn't work. You never get bullied when you're a kid. Have you ever experienced that? When has being nice to a bully ever worked? Let me know. I find it so crazy that so many men struggle with their mental health, and you have hyenas doing this. Girl, get your workout on, get on that treadmill, do your 10,000 steps, and you'd be skinnier worrying about yourself. Recording somebody else who's not doing nothing to you is awful. I cannot understand people who do stuff like this, y'all. I would never go out of my way to record somebody just to make fun of them. And the person who's with you is just a piece of crap just as much as you are. Because I don't see any type of satisfaction I would get out of this by making fun of somebody. But guess what? I love that I'm making this video making fun of you, Twinkie Jr. Because I do not understand your motive. And by looking at your pictures and your profile, I think you should be asking Santa for a waist trainer. Have a good day, honey. You know what? I'm not even going to start because you're one M&M away from having to go to Jenny Craig. Have a good day, babes. Enjoy your lovely holiday. Eat all the hot cocoa and all the food that you can. You need it. Or do you?
And, you know, I think towards the beginning of the beginning of like the video, she was talking about a man leads a woman gently. He does sometimes, but her saying this sort of stuff, especially in response to Cooley, lets us further know that modern women don't know what they're talking about when it comes to leadership. Oh, lead me gently. I don't know if you've ever been to a football game or any type of sporting event. You've been to the military. I would venture to say any branch. Like if you've gone to boot camp, I don't know, man, anything that's rigorous, like a job or anything, especially a dangerous job, they don't always have the right tone with you. As a matter of fact, there are some times where they're screaming and hollering at you. They're legit upset. They're about to blow a top. I'm about to blow my top, messing around with you. Hey man, be careful. Because some stuff can get so dangerous and some stuff calls for urgency. Oh baby, can you please not do that? Come on. There's people about to come up, run up on us. Come on. Oh, there's a fire. Come on. No, you don't do that. That's the time when you come on. Sometimes because y'all, and this is what y'all do. Y'all want a man to talk to y'all gently, but a man in those moments would have to literally physically pick you up and drag you out that house, because modern women would ruin. They would. How can I say this? They would get themselves eliminated because of their feelings. They would get themselves taken out or consumed because of their feelings. So no, it's not always gentle leadership. That's how I know that you don't know what you're talking about. You're not a man. You don't know how to lead, and it continues to show.
Hi everyone, I'm about to go on a date. Wish me luck. More like wish him luck, right? I'll keep you posted. So the date started at 7:15. It is about 7:53 right now. So a little bit over a half hour. And then I had to walk out on the date. This is what happened. We got to talking about our personal lives. You know, what do you do for work? You know, relationships and things like that. And I talk about, oh yes, I was previously married and I have a child who's 8 years old, who I co-parent with my ex-husband and his wife. And then all of a sudden he started freaking out. And he's like, oh, you have a kid? And he says, oh, I can't date somebody who has a kid. Like, to my face. He's like, I can't date somebody who has a kid. I'm like, excuse me? And he starts making me feel like very uncomfortable. I'm like, nobody should ever make me feel like that, especially on a date. Are you kidding me? So I had to walk out on this date because this guy said, I can't date somebody who has a kid. And I think you were very misleading in your profile. And I'm like, why? Because I didn't put a picture of my son in my profile? Seriously? Like, there's a lot of pedophiles on those apps. I don't disclose that unless we're talking on the phone or if we meet in person. The guy is 40 years old. 40 years old. To think that you're going to date women who don't already have children, who have never been married, is absolutely absurd. Absurd. I never hid anything. And quite frankly, I called him out at the bar and I'm just like, oh, so you don't like kids? He's like, oh no, I like kids. I can't date somebody who has a kid. I'm like, oh, you can't date somebody who has a kid? Maybe you should put in your profile that you don't like children. Okay? That you're not even going to try to give this date give us a chance because I have a wonderful, amazing 8-year-old son. Okay? To me, that's not a family man. No. That man's looking to destroy, and I want no part of it.
The biggest problem that I see here is that man is now being shamed for his very valid preferences. And that is coming from a woman that was once a single mom. Is her point about blasting photos of her son all over her dating profile correct? Yeah, but that's not what he necessarily asked for. All that she really literally needed to do was mention him when they were talking before going out on a very nice date. But instead of taking accountability for not communicating that ahead of time, she ends up shaming him. She says that he makes her feel uncomfortable during the date, literally because he's talking about what he doesn't like. She even twists it into him just not liking kids.
So I just walked out on a man in the middle of our workout at the gym because he tried to play in my face.
Oh, brother, buckle up for this nonsense, you guys.
After the workout session, he did express romantic interest. Do I know that men are attracted to me? Yes, I'm not stupid doodle dumb. But does that mean I'm about to be with you, date you? No, we're just doing the gym thing. I very much keep men at an arm's length and a distance at all times. But he was like, you know, if you ever want to go on a date, I am feeling you. I was like, I know you were attracted to me because, again, I'm not stupid. But I'm like, let's do the gym thing. I think this is good. I'm not really looking at, date right now. We're just going to be gym buddies. So we're in the gym today, right? We're doing our workout. Everything's going well. And then there was this woman that approached him. So I don't say nothing. I just kind of looked at her. Now, she did look my way and she was like, hey, I saw you. And I was like, oh my God, that's my dad. Turns out the woman is his daughter. Now, we had just talked about the daughter. I think the first time we worked out, we talked about the daughter. So I'm familiar with her. She's not familiar with me, right? So they're having about a 3-minute conversation. They chopping it up, as they should. But at no point during this conversation did he even look over to me or did he even say, oh, hey, that's my friend Sheila. We're working out. Simple. We're gym buddies. All you could have did was introduce me. But you didn't. So she walks away and he kind of seems like we're about to continue this workout. So which I got off the machine and I was like, yeah, I'm uncomfortable with that. I felt very unseen. Like, we are platonic friends and you could have just introduced me. Now, you did express romantic interest. And with you having romantic interest, you should have for sure introduced me. Which lets me know, like, are you hiding something? You ashamed of me? Because I'm that girl. What you gotta be ashamed of? What you hiding me for?
Ladies, I'm gonna need y'all to lock in because now it's getting embarrassing. Why would that man introduce you to his daughter? He's also not obligated to introduce you to his daughter. He told you he was interested in you, attracted to you, and wanted to date you. You said you just wanted to be buddies. Why would he need to introduce you to his daughter? If he was hiding you, he wouldn't be working out in a public gym with you. If he was embarrassed of you, he wouldn't be working out in a public gym with you. What are you even talking about right now? You walked out on this gym date because he didn't introduce you to his daughter. My man didn't meet my kids for near 2 years. Contrary to popular belief, everyone's not out here just willy-nilly introducing strangers to their kids. Like, he doesn't know what y'all are going to be. You said you're not interested in a relationship right now. Why would he introduce you to his daughter? For what reason did you need to be seen? You said, I felt like I wasn't being seen. You didn't need to be seen. You're what? Y'all are in a public gym. Everybody saw you. Are y'all okay?
She's not me. I'm a man and she's a woman. And we live by different rules on this planet Earth. Bro, that's true. And if you say that we don't, then when you go home and you got a daughter and a son, tell them to go by the same rules. I guarantee you don't tell your daughter she live by the same rules. You want to know why?
I actually have 2 boys, so I don't worry about that.
You would never tell your boys that they can do the same things that
I'm not. But
exactly.
For you
why
to
not?
think that it's okay.
But you just said
the
we live by
stuff
the
that's
same
coming
rules.
out your mouth is crazy to me. That's all I'm saying.
It's only crazy to you because of the world that you live in.
And I do agree with her where you saying you're possessive. Like, I want to see the type of woman that you have dated. Like, I'm sorry.
The type of women that I date.
don't feel like you have dated a dominant woman because me personally, the way
dominant women. I would have been got rid of a dominant woman thinking she gonna tell me what to do.
It's actually ridiculous. Yo, look at the look on this brother's face. I like this guy. I think it's absolutely ridiculous that these women still wear domination like a badge of honor, as if it is a good thing to live their life by. Shout out to Margaret Sanger. You've done a wonder on our community. Oh, this goes deep, baby. But this right here is a man that is standing on business. This type of response to the bull is what men actually need to see. Not that feminine weak of allowing them to control how you should feel about something. Absolutely not. They will laugh and cackle at a young man that is standing up on business, meanwhile never realizing that it is impossible to request a man to be a leader while you're also a strong, independent, dominant woman. It's impossible.
I'm dealing with women that's manipulative. Like women nowadays, they only want to be submissive when it fits them. They'll be submissive when we're going on trips and when I'm paying the rent and whenever their car break down.
But they're not naturally
submissive. Whenever
submissive.
everything else is going good. When I tell you don't go to the club, it's a problem. You submissive whenever you want to be.
He's
Whenever
right.
I tell you to do something you don't want to do, now you're no longer submissive. That's not going for me. It's not going for me.
I can't lie to you. He got some truth in there.
That's true. That's true.
I'm gonna keep it a buck
He ain't saying
because,
shit wrong with that.
but what I noticed, I'm noticing that more so in the generation that came before me, the 30 and down. The ones that's around my age and up, they're a little better. But you know, them young ones, they've been having the little issues, you know. They do all of it, and then, no offense, baby, but it's too much of the snapbacks of the hand and all that extra. But like you said, when you're doing for them, everything good.
Too much talking back.
I might be rich on this a little bit.
They're not letting us lead.
Yeah,
we
it's
need
kinda-
to be able to lead, but how can I lead a woman who every time I say something, she got something to say back?
Womansplaining Men to Women, episode 128, I think. If there's one thing I've learned about men and women during the holidays, it is that women do not want their men home. If you're a dude and you take 2 weeks off work without telling your wife, you might as well just slap her right across the face, I guess, because they are not used to it. It just throws them right off. I've been seeing a lot of posts like this. My husband has been off work since the 24th and I haven't unalived him. Please clap for me. And these posts tend to be super relatable, with women agreeing that they do not want their husbands home this long. This woman actually feels a similar joy leaving the house because her husband is home all the time on long-term disability. And what's really interesting about this post is that when people ask if he's lazy or needs more work to do, you know, while he's on vacation, she actually says that he's not lazy and has done every chore she's asked of him. She just still doesn't want to be around him. And holy ladies, this is a huge problem because I don't know if you've ever thought about this, but a man can't work forever, and neither can you. Eventually you'll both have to retire, and when you do that, you'll have to live together and spend time together and grow into old age together, and you'll have to do that without committing spousal homicide. In fact, these will be the years you need each other most to survive. So this is your trial by fire. This is how you learn to do just that. There's a scene in Bruce Almighty, it might have been Evan Almighty, where God says that if you pray for patience, he doesn't give you patience. He gives you an opportunity to be patient. You are never going to be just handed a person who never annoys you and knows everything you want. But surely what you do know is why you married this person, right? So why did we forget that just because you took a couple weeks off? Listen, of course this is going to be a change to your routine and might throw you off a little bit, but I am begging you to try and see how special this is to him and your kids if you have them, and try not to focus on what could go wrong or how he could mess things up. He's been looking forward to this time with you and to be at home and not working for so long. And I'm going to say something else that you don't want to hear. He's also been looking forward to doing nothing. He really just wants to use some of his vacation time for nothing. In fact, everyone deserves some time for nothing. Look, you married him for him, right? Not for the time that he's gone. And it would just mean the world to him if you made him feel that way.
You know, I want to go back to that woman that was talking about not being seen. She was at the gym, she was working out, and it sounded like she said she didn't want that man. That's what it sounded like. I'm not really interested in him. I don't really want him. So, you know, it is what it is. And so when somebody comes around that he knows and he doesn't introduce you, that all of a sudden you're upset. I don't understand that, but you know, whatever. She was going to keep him on the back burner. She wanted to play it cool, right? She wanted to come in as, oh, you know, who is that? Oh, she's around, you know, we're just friends. But that's really all it is. So people can start asking about you, and you're important. Oh, and you know, I don't like him, but he likes me, and his family knows about me, and I'm going to continue to do all of these other things. And then when I get good and ready, then, you know, I'll say, okay, I'm ready to get with you, right? But I'm gonna be out here for the time being, getting put through the mattress. But I'm gonna keep you on the back burner. I'm gonna keep you in my back pocket. That seems like what she was getting ready to do.
I'm not here for the male gaze anymore. They're not my demo. I mean, men will just toss you aside for like the newest ingenue. And that's fine. You should absolutely do that. You know what I'm saying? I don't blame you for that. I'm still hot.
Ma'am, you're not here for the male gaze anymore because the male gaze ain't checking for you. You've spent years living off of that attention and monetizing it. You use your looks to build your career, and now you're almost 50. You've gained weight, your looks are slipping, you're getting older, and your offers are getting lighter, and all of a sudden now, after building your entire career off of the male gaze, I'm above male validation.
Everybody who's in the know what's up with you. So they will roll in the hay, but nobody's going to commit.
Yeah.
So they have to get their money by suing because, I mean, no baby's going to come out of her at that carburetor womb having that. If you press the horn on her womb, what does it say, D?
No, not that. No, that's not.
Check engine light.
Y'all remember one time? Y'all remember, man, let me talk about the past. We was in the house one time, me and Murder. She sucking his. Wait. And so she gave me, he hitting it from the back, and he started sucking like that. I said,
Is there a distinct possibility that there may have been underage girls in that?
Come on
now.
That's crazy.
I don't know what you're doing.
That's
crazy. That's disgusting what you're doing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know what's wild too is that she never apologized for this. No accountability.
First of all, I only like older. Second of all, was 1992. We was underage. That's A and B. We wasn't supposed to do it.
Wow, look at the details.
I know. I want fans in the mouth.
Oh my God.
She looked elderly in that picture too. She looked like an old Karen. Do you live in this building? Shut up.
This is exactly why your past matters, because someone gonna know your history. You trying to come at camera, and meanwhile he got receipts of things that you never wanted to be released. You can't put these allegations in the air and then expect silence from the men that you're levying them against. That's some serious that you just said out loud, talking about trying to land the plane. Excuse me. And no matter what you think, what Cameron did is not misogyny. It's a response to your.
Yo, so I want to know what you guys think about this post. So the first girl said everybody's boyfriend got money till it's time to pay the tab on girls' night. And then KT said, my man ain't paying for nobody but me. Y'all can go to. Everybody's boyfriend got money till it's time to pay the tab. Yeah, and if my man has money, his money's not rated E for all of you guys. I love my friends wholeheartedly. I've been out with my homegirls and her husband. They don't pay for me, y'all. I pay for myself. Are there times where like I'll be like, hey, a round of shots, and they'll be like, oh, a round of shots, but it's not every single thing. When we go out to dinner, we all pay our own tab. I've never in my life expected my friend's man to pay for me. That's weird. I don't know what it is with you entitled women. It's giving broke. Like, I can see your hands out. Spare change, please. Like, are you kidding me? And I would never, like, if I'm sitting with my homegirl and my man's there and stuff like that, and she decides to ask him to pay the tab or even make fun of him or say anything, if you think for 1 second I'm going to side with you, that's the last time we're probably ever going to speak, and the friendship would be over something so small because you opened your dumb mouth. You should never part your lips to call a man broke or say anything crazy because he doesn't want to pay for your tab. Where's your man? That don't make no sense. You don't beg another woman's man for change. That, oh my God, bro. These are like handouts. I don't know what it is. Like, a lot of the women in this generation, they talk a big game about men all the time. But then when I start seeing the things that you guys say, it's giving brokey. Like, you guys call men brokey. You guys call men all these names. I'm starting to think it's projection. Maybe we should start looking in the mirror. Because if you don't have two nickels to rub together, why are we going to out to eat? And I know women are like this. Oh, I'm telling y'all, I have so many stories on this. I've been on a girls trip with girls before who didn't bring no money. Paid for the trip and that was it. Didn't have no extra money. They expected people to pay for them. If you have this broke mentality, don't be my friend. I'm glad I don't have broke friends. But I'm just saying, if you ever have a mentality like this, No, it's one thing to be kind of cheap and budget your money and not want to spend money on dumb stuff like maybe going out to eat because you like luxury things and all that. Totally understand that. But asking a bitch's man for money could never be me. Sorry, my man's paying for me and him. And I want to get appetizers and dessert and a drink. With you added to that? No. I'm glad I don't have snake friends. I'm sorry, but if you ladies have friends that are making you feel bad about the way your man is and you listen to them, I'm telling you, you're in for a rude awakening and you're going to lose that man faster than you got him. Do not listen to your single friends if they're encouraging you to make fun of him or belittle him or, oh, he's broke, he's not going to pay for all of us. And you're sitting there getting peer pressured because you don't have a mouth of your own. I'm telling you right now, you're going to be the biggest fool.
If a man asks you out on a coffee date, charge him $500. As a divorce lawyer, let me tell you why. Coffee is for colleagues. Coffee is not for courting. Would that man ask Margot Robbie out on a coffee date? When a man asks you out on a coffee date, what he's really saying is, I want your time, your energy, your presence at the lowest possible cost to me. Coffee is cheap. Coffee is convenient. Coffee takes zero effort. And yet your time is not cheap. Your presence is not convenient. And your energy is not effortless. It's valuable. If a man asks you out for coffee, send him an invoice. Charge him $500 because that's closer to the real value of your time, your energy, and your presence.
I don't know how she says this with such a straight face, but for women that agree with this, that is what makes men believe that women are delusional and transactional. Because he knows, I know, and you should know that you're not Margot Robbie. So a coffee date is totally appropriate for normal folk like us, which is why I highly recommend for you guys that are out there dating, keep on making the coffee date your first date because it is a good filter and it keeps the delusional women at bay.
Because the problem with women in social media is really not the media itself, it's what we choose to consume. Right? So for men, a lot of times they consume content that is about leveling up to some extent, you know, how to get more money, how to look better, how to attract more women, whatever. For women, oftentimes it is just content that validates you're perfect the way that you are. Everything about women is great. You don't have to change for any man. You can just keep being yourself and somebody's going to come into your life and fall in love with you just as you are. That's the issue, because then we're not growing. We're not challenging ourselves. We're not becoming better people. We're not becoming better women. And the women that do try and make content like that, y'all reject them like because you think that they're talking bad about you, when in reality, they're just asking you to do better, step up, become a better version of yourself, so that way you can actually get the things that you want. But y'all just want to believe that you can stay the same and get the things you want. And that doesn't make any sense. So if we collectively as women change the type of content that we consume, I think that it could help us grow. But, you know, the girls just want to hear about what's on sale and clothes and makeup and shoes and hair and blah, 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 blah.
If I mentioned to a man that I had planned on buying a Chanel bag, and I wouldn't even mention that in the first place, but if I mentioned that to him, and the next day he messages me asking me, did you get your Chanel bag? I don't know what it is about that, but I would not respond to that. Like, that kind of disgusts me. That's kind of disgusting to me. I would not respond to that. I might block him.
So basically, you're dry begging. That's what you're doing. That is literally what dry begging means. You ask for something without asking for something. And you're trying to pass it off as this is just something icky about it. No, you are just what is considered a dry beggar. That's the same as a girl calling you talking about she don't know how she gonna pay her rent or how she gonna pay her light bill because she's hoping that you're going to offer it up. Why don't you just say, this is how I would dry beg if I was ever in this situation? That's how you should title the video. And for all you people out there who've never heard of dry begging, this is what it is. Someone is asking you for something without asking for something, and then got the nerve to get mad at the man because he didn't give it to her. And she never said it was her man. She just said a man. So this is just some guy that she met. She's about to buy a bag. He didn't ask her about it because apparently this must be important to her because she brought it up for no reason, and then she wants to block him. That's like me bringing up, hey, I'm going to be buying a new car. You call me the next day and say, hey, did you get your new car? And I just stop responding to you and I block you. You see how silly that sounds? Well, that's how silly you sound, because this is absolutely ridiculous. I do not know where this lady lives, but my advice to her is you better start researching those local pet stores in your area, because as long as you got a mentality like this or a mindset like this, you're gonna need one at some point. So you better start figuring out which one you want, what kind of food you're gonna need. Maybe you want a goldfish, a cat, dog, iguana, a snake. I have no idea which pet you're gonna choose, but this is the time you want to start researching it. I'm just trying to help you out, lady. That's all I'm doing.
And so I'm looking right here about I think Margot Robbie met her husband Let me make sure. Met in 2013. Okay. So she met her husband, British producer, 2013 on the set of a World War II drama. She had a supporting role and he was working as the third assistant director. So he was a director, she was in a supporting role, and they became close friends at first, not romantic right away. Now, when you look at, did they have a first date? Not really, right? So after they met on the set, basically several of the people on set decided to move in together, which is essentially what she did. So they were kind of flatmates, and they started being friends. And she was like, well, I think later on she told Vogue, I really love being single, but I did like him. Right. So not a cinematic first date, but it was more so we were roommates, and we started to become friends and we started to really like each other. Right. So Margot Robbie, not only would she take a coffee date, she wouldn't even take a date at all. They didn't even have a first date. And this is what I'm saying. Y'all think because these celebrities, as a matter of fact, let me go do some research. Okay, so here's some notable people that you might know. Matt Damon and Luciana Barroso. She was bartending. He went behind the bar to work alongside her so he could talk to her. Interesting, right? So that's how they met. Serena Williams and Alex Ohanian, I think is how you say his name, met by chance at a Rome hotel. Her team made up a rat story to scare him off. Then they started talking, right? So, it's not really some sort of cinematic thing going on. Chrissy Teigen and John Legend met on his music video set, hooked up that first night. They're married today. Okay. Jennifer Connelly and Paul Bettany never actually dated. After 9/11, he called and said, let's get married. Interesting. Gwen Stefani and Blake Shelton, co-workers as coaches on The Voice. We pretty much all know about that. So the bottom line here is almost none were glamorous. The more famous the woman, the more ordinary the origin story. A bar, a hotel, a work set. Margot Robbie marrying her roommate fits the rule, not the exception. Because surprise, surprise, they're people. And people meet in a plethora of different ways. So if celebrities can do it and they make a little bit of money, what makes you think that you're too good to do it?
A good man isn't soft. He is not convenient, and he sure is not always available for you. A real good man has discipline, he has boundaries, and he has priorities of his own that do not shift based on her mood. And guess what? He's not bending his values just because she's upset.
That's exactly what I was
thinking. A good man is not controlling. He creates the order. He doesn't want chaos, arguments, or drama. He wants respect, clarity, and peace.
Yeah.
And this is where women get it confused. When she's never met a mature man, she will mislabel everything. She'll call him cold because he doesn't tolerate any nonsense.
Yeah.
She'll call him selfish because he takes care of himself. And she'll call him narcissistic because he refuses to beg for approval. But that's not selfishness. That is maturity. A man who refuses to be drained, used, or manipulated. Good men do not move from insecurity. They move from conviction. They will not ever chase drama. They do not chase attention, and they sure as don't chase validation from women. They build, they lead, and provide structure. And here's a harsh truth. Most women aren't even ready for the responsibility that comes with being with a good man.
Right.
Because a good man isn't an emotional roller coaster. He is not unpredictable, and it's not a game. He is stable, extremely consistent, and has direction.
Right.
And for women addicted to chaos, wounded by the past relationships that they were in, or raised by dysfunction, stability feels boring until she loses it. A good man requires partnership. He requires respect and requires a woman who is emotionally regulated, not reckless with her emotions. That's why so many men get mislabeled. It's why mature men get misunderstood. But stay solid, because good men, do not bend, they build, and the right woman will rise to meet with him.
She asked me if I date for marriage. I said, listen, I date for love. I'm only gonna experience life one time. Why would I deny myself the pleasure of love? You know, I don't think anybody's on their deathbed saying, I wish I loved less. So yeah, it's not about marriage. It's not about a title for me. It's not about labels. It's about love. I was in Dooneyland. 2 hours later, I was in the shit.
I want y'all to understand that these are the master manipulators that these women be talking about. Buddy sat down and told Shorty a whole bunch of nonsense for, what was that, like almost a minute? And in her mind, she was like, you know what? I asked this man if he dates for marriage. He basically told me, nah, I just want to bust some cheeks down, but in a sweet way. She thought, you know what? He's probably a good guy. After Buddy cracked, I guarantee she said that he was some type of master manipulator. No, he wasn't. You were just dumb. Like, this isn't master manipulation. Dude just said a bunch of nonsense and you wanted to believe it. Because I'm sure out there somewhere, there was some woman out there listening to what he was saying and was like, he's just chatting a bunch of nonsense. But the majority of y'all want to believe it. Like, you want, like, if I asked a woman, let's say I'm dating to marry, right? And I asked a woman, hey, do you date to marry? And she was like, you know, it's not about marriage. It's about love and experiences and being the best that we can be with each other and da da da. I'm gonna be like, so no? Like, what are we talking about? You just chatting a bunch of nonsense. I'm gonna be sitting there like, oh my gosh, here she go. These dudes aren't smart. These dudes aren't smart. They had a 1.5 GPA in high school and college. And we're talking about, oh, he manipulated me so well. If you got manipulated by an idiot, what does that make you? What does it make you?
6 feet, 6 inches, and 6 figures. I have just learned about this. I'm shocked. Why do y'all need a 6 foot man? I'm 6 foot and I don't need a 6 foot man. The average, y'all are like 5'5". Why do you need a 6 foot man? To do what with? Like, he's bigger than you, more than likely. Even if it's only by a couple inches, it'll be okay. And if he's not, that's still okay too, trust me. And 6 inches. Kegels, that's what I would suggest. And, you know, because if the hole's small enough, everything will be fine. And as far as 6 figures, I don't know, maybe spend less money or maybe get a job yourself.
I honestly don't know how men do it. The list that every woman has for her man is never ending and always changing. And most men will happily navigate that entire list if his balls are empty, his belly's full, and he's feeling pretty good about himself. But there are so many women that I know who want all of the perks and none of the work. But it doesn't work that way. It's a two-way street. Everyone's got to get something out of the deal.
I have to say I feel sorry for some of you men out there in the dating world because it is 2025. I'm a 38-year-old female, and these women out here even confuse me. Some women out here putting Jesus in their bio, but then you go look at their stuff and it's nothing but thirst traps, lustful, seductive content. And I've said it before, but a lot of women have this long laundry list of unrealistic criteria that they want in a man, but yet they bring nothing to the table.
Maybe you've heard the concept of the 3 6s. 6-pack, 6 feet tall, 6 figures. Do a mental inventory of everyone you've dated. If you're in a relationship right now, or if you're in a marriage, okay, consider this. Does this man have 1, 2, 3, or 0 of these 6s? Think back to the people that I have dated, and yeah, some of them have been over 6 feet for sure. Some of them have had 6-packs. Okay, I live in the Midwest. I've never dated anyone that's made more than 100K. If heterosexual women did hold up to this standard, there wouldn't be a lot of them in relationships.
I'm not talking to guys like you.
What the?
What do you mean?
Shot?
No, I'm saying like you're
All right,
not.
Let's get the other girl in here. What's her name? Melissa. All right, thank you, Kazumi.
That's not rude. That's unbothered. And if you haven't taken a page out of this man's book, you ought to look at it. Men are so done. Men across the board are so done. They're not begging, they're not chasing, and they're not changing. If you don't like them, see you later, bye. Done are those days where women can manipulate, play emotional games, and do whatever psychological, emotional manipulation that they want to try. Because it's just not working anymore. The emotional intelligence has just escalated, so the game is seen. They see the game. So all of you out there who are still thinking that you can manipulate, the majority of men are already at the, yeah, I'm good. they see your red flag a mile away. Insert clip here.
This is how you with a man's head, but in a way that gets him hooked and makes him fantasize about you. And before I give you the step-by-step guide, don't be telling me in the comments how toxic this is, because baby girl, this is what it's intended to be. You have to make him suffer. You have to humiliate him. They fall in love with you when they're terrified of losing you. You have to stop lying to yourself, because you truly think by being sweet and kind and reassuring that he's gonna obsess over you. In reality, it makes you forgettable and how to have the upper hand and get into his head without even saying a single word. I messed up worse than I thought. Am I losing her? That right there is what you want to trigger. That right there is how you get into a man's head.
You have women out here right now teaching how to use dark psychology to get a man. And men are watching this and literally being like, you know, we can see this too, right? So then we know what to look for and what not to date. But anyway, keep making your videos, because it's also showing the men who the f not to date. Please keep showing us your red flags. Unbothered.
So you're allowed to say everything that's wrong with men, but if I want to say about something that I've seen that's wrong with women, because for so many reasons, from propaganda, from media, from what feminism has poisoned us with, and I'll say something like, I've seen women be horrible to me or to one another, and I've witnessed some demonic stories. And like I said, it's not that she's jealous, it's that she's envious and she wants to take away what you have, not because she wants it for herself, simply because she doesn't want to see you be happy. The concept of seeing someone else happy short circuits her brain. And I do think that women can be so vicious and so aggressive, and especially when it comes to gossip and reputation, that's their arsenal of choice, right? But I'm not allowed to say this, and it's not me painting a brush that all women are horrible. I've seen some gorgeous divine women, but 1 in a million. The majority is not so fine and dandy and great. But I'm not allowed to say this. They'll deem me as a pick-me or all these horrible things, or as a misogynist or a woman hater or whatever it is. But it's so easy in the same breath to say, but not all men, but always a man. I'll tell you what, not all women, but always a woman. There's always a woman in my comments. Always.
Lack of self-reflection in the Black community really does need to be studied.
Decent! Mind you, decent is the new standard, and it's fucking sad, bitch.
You would think that when you see a video that is talking about an epidemic of single women, that those women would then take the time to reflect, like, hey, what is it that we're doing that all of us are here single?
Where are the men? Where are the men?
Too many women are following in the footsteps of other women that have led to their singleness, assuming that it's not going to lead you also to singleness.
To put up with this, I don't mean some of us are happy with being single.
We know a lot of y'all aren't happy with being single. If we're trying to get a man and that man does not want us, but all these other ones do, that's because those men are on your level, babe, and the one up there isn't.
When y'all see a good man, y'all want him. That's another issue we'll get into another video.
Why do we have to get into that in another video? Why can't we get into that right now?
You know, one thing you can count on is these modern women playing a lot of stupid games. Playing a lot of stupid games and winning a lot of stupid prizes. Hey, this is what you do to manipulate him. This is what you do to get his attention. And you do it, and it works for a little while, but then it doesn't work anymore. Because you got his attention, but you don't know what to do with it. And so you don't, you know, modern women, if they were really smart, they would be able to catch a man's attention and then say, man, finally, man, I didn't know what I needed to do to get this. I mean, I had to do something. So I got his attention, but how do I hold it? They focus on the front part of, okay, how do I get this man to even look at me? And they don't worry about who they actually are as people. They don't worry about their character. They think, man, all I really need to do is get a guy to look my direction and the rest will take care of itself. I'm so good looking. I'm so important. I'm so interesting. Just look, just glimpse, just take a glimpse. Look at me out of the side of your eye. Just a glimpse and everything will take care of itself. I mean, he looked at me because that's going to be their story. He looked at me and that was the end of that. That's what their thing is going to be. Their story is, but it's not. You get the man to look, he buys you a drink, and that's it. That's how far the night goes, because you're not that interesting of a person.